playing the new Cosmos be like? Sure, yeah, yes, stuff, I guess. Uh... What's up, guys? David here, 1, 2, and 2. I think I got something a little special for you. The new Cosmo cards came out, and me and Ryan were trying to figure out how they actually work with like the new Fire King Island and all the combos with that. So we're gonna put the deck to some work. Let's go. All right, guys. First up, we have Cosmos versus Dark Magicians. Ryan is playing Dark Magician. I am playing the Cosmos. As you notice, I've got the anime style cards because it's really nice for these replays because you can really see the pictures and tell what I'm playing. Except for anything new, like Cosmo Groundwalk or whatever it's called now, it doesn't have an updated picture yet, so it looks kind of funny. It's the only one not like that. But basically, I just opened the Fire King Island, which gives me all the combos. Like, wow, I just set off 3 ships. Like, OMG, all of the stuff. And really, this is just kind of how the deck plays. It just poops out as much of its Sword Troopers and Strawmen as possible in order to just kind of keep abusing your Graveyard and Banish Zone just to keep doing stuff. Yeah, I just was like, I didn't even really know what the hell I was doing. I was just like, oh, that I can click that. Okay, I can click that. What else could I do? Let's just keep making stuff. And I couldn't quite kill him, but I was fine. I wanted to get that tin can anyway, just so I could try to attempt to get a ship. Ooh, and I got it. So I figured I would knock out one of his face downs. On his turn, he uses the old pot of do in order to try to get some stuff. And here I make a scrubby move, I think. I draw into the second Fire King Island thinking I'd be cute and pop that Dark Planet in my hand, but he ends up popping the Cosmo, or the Fire King Island, which nukes my board like a giant idiot. However, I did manage to actually have the Regeki, so it didn't matter, and I could swing for game. But that was a horrid misplay. There was really no reason for me to do that. Next up is Ryan's Odd Eyes Speedroid Magicians, which has proven for me to be a really lousy matchup. Pendulums are still really, really good against Cosmos because Cosmos, you know, even with all the new resource management they have, they simply still can't quite keep up with an extra deck full of pendulum monsters and just like a reoccurring pendulum summons over and over and over with just running out of resources to fight all this. So Ryan ends up making it a stupid board. And I will say that this Zhang K Magician is actually really good against Cosmos because it negates the effects of all the light ones, which that negates half the monsters in the deck, so it's just enough to slow you down. But I'm like, alright, I got the Fire King Island, see what I can do. Pop the Dark Destroyer, get this thing, pop his field spell, destroy those 2 and destroy Yaksha, so that way I can pop one in my hand, so I get 3 pops, and then I can make a bunch of other dumb crap, and here I am just clicking around. I don't know what I'm doing. Send something to the grave. I'm like, hey, look, I can make Infinity, I guess. I guess. Sure. Attempt to suck something up. But he sacks me with the Archfiend Eccentric, and that really kind of sucked. But again, like I said, Pendulums are just a really lousy matchup for me. Here is against Ryan's Blue Eyes White Dragon. This is a fun duel, mostly because both of these decks are kind of combo based. That's one thing I will say about the new Cosmos is they were kind of OTK, you know, just like daisy chaining during the battle phase just to knock a bunch of damage on board. But now it's turned into a much bigger, more combo-based deck. So, towards the end of last format, people were starting to play with 3 Sword Trooper and attempt to loop into things like F-Zero and things like that. But now that we've got quite a few more ships and the Fire King Island, the combos are just absurd, so the deck actually becomes a true combo-based deck, which is, you know, when run unopposed, does quite a bit of fun shenanigans. But even without the Fire King Island, you still can do some neat little stuff, and you can be cute. So here Ryan is finding out that, you know, resource management really is a problem for some decks, and Blue Eyes kind of blows its load on a bunch of big dragons and eventually runs out of stuff. But I had a turn to set up, so I just make a bunch of monsters, and it's pretty goofy. Oh, that Dark Lady. Dark Lady is actually turning out to be pretty useful. She kind of takes some heat off of Infinity. And 1 negate is a lot for your opponent to deal with, but 2 is just way too much. And I draw that XYZ universe. That's me trying to be cute. But I'm like, you know what? Let's just be dumb and make a second Infinity, like a giant ass hat. Because there's literally no reason to do it, but I could, so they asked to quit. And this last one, Ryan opened pretty broke, and this is, I think, one of the earlier duels we played that night, so I didn't quite know what I was doing. I was just like, oh, I normal summoned Farm Girl for some bizarre reason. So Ryan's like, oh yeah, watch this. Doot 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 doot. Boop 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 boop. And I'm like, oh, he's making the big play. He's being an ass bucket, making a giant board. I'm like, okay, so it was really funny that Delta Shuttle was kind of one of he was like the sleeper hit of the entire deck. Like, people were like, oh, that card's bad. You don't want Kozmos in your grave. And then you're like, yeah, you do, because you can just absolutely go insane loops with all the things, and stupid for fields like Dark Planet Infinity and a Dark Destroyer for game. Holy crap. Alright guys, like I said before, I don't know what I'm doing with it, but the deck is a lot of fun. I'm still trying to learn the combos. I'm actually also looking forward to seeing what the deck does in the meta. I think it might have closed a couple of gaps that it was having problems with. But anyway guys, let me know down in the comments below what you think of my awful piloting of this deck. And remember guys, if you don't control the meta, who will? I'll see you guys next time. But anyway, next up, I'm going to have to get the cell phone out because this card's got the craziest name ever. Super Anti-Kaiju War Machine Mecha Dagoron. Blah.